we're good now. That was weird. Okay. Hey guys, it's AstroZerg bringing you a live stream on YouTube again. And the purpose of this is going to be in order to kind of give a layout of what is going on in the new map, Lunar Colony. So we're going to start from the attack. We're going to go to point 1, then point 2. And then for defense, we're going to go to point 1, then point 2. So let's get started. So when you're coming out of attack, you can really, the first path is, this is the main path. You come around here, come around here, come around here, and then you're faced with this. Now, the weird thing about this is it's a really open area. You can come in through here, but it's a pretty big choke point. You can come through here, but I mean you can't really get in there unless you're released or something. You want to jump in, like say you want to just go in, hop in, put your shield down, boom, and start spraying. Another way to get in would be through the left side, which is again a choke point. So there you could, I'd say one of the best ways if you're going to go down through the middle, and we're going to cover every way through here, flanking, all that stuff. If you're going to go down through the middle, the best way to do this, I would say, is to, if you're going to have a Winston, he's probably a good choice in this map, to be honest. For Winston, just jump right in there, start distracting them. If he turns the Rhine around from either of these sides, your team can just funnel in through here, and here, not or, and. So what you want to do, so say you have your team, you have, let's say, a Genji, some supports, your other tank like a Zarya or a D.Va, and then something of that sort. Then you want to have your team kind of split in half. You want like a support and a DPS here, a support and a DPS there. If you have a Mercy, put the second tank with them. So you're gonna dive in here, put the shield down, and start spraying. You're gonna bring your team in through here and here, and you're gonna hopefully take the point pretty quickly. That's probably the best way to come in from 3 sides at once, because when the other team is faced with that, they're not gonna know what to do. Now, it's possible that if you you want to make sure you check this back area. If the Mercy has a res or something, they might be standing here. So let's go on to the next possible attack. So we'll go back to the beginning of the map, so you can kind of see where you get to each of these places. So we have the right side. So we just came out the middle. That was the attack strategy for there. So now the right side, you can come out through here. And then if you go into this area, there's a health pack. Just keep that in mind, all you Tracer and Genji players. Now, if you want to go out the right side, then there's not. It's really the same thing as going out this way. There is a way to go from there. But so here we have. You're walking. You're going to go down the same path, but then you go this way. If you go right, they can kind of see you still, so you'd have to be a faster player, character, but you can go right, and then you're here. You're in the anti-gravity area. And so there's a health pack in there. I would not suggest jumping as Winston, because you might go too far. But you can go through here. Now you're flanking them, because you can see, now you have, this is open by the way, you have the high ground. You could easily just go into these steps, because it's kind of faster. But you can see, you're here, you go up there. It's honestly just faster, just go up here, and then boom, you're on the high ground. Now, I'm trying not to spoil too much, but basically you now have the high ground. It's not going to do you a whole lot though, because really, unless you're a Tracer or something like that, this is a good flanking area, because it's possible they won't see you. So here's 2 ways that you can go in. You can go down here, and just dash into the middle, and start attacking them. However, if they're facing this way, then you're not going to want to just dash through them. There is a health pack in there, by the way. The second option is to go through here. You can jump down above them if you're Tracer or something, or Genji. You can dash in. Actually, you wouldn't want to dash in as a Genji, because then you would no way of getting out. You can go ahead and just jump on into there, and then you can get back out and come back up here if there's a Tracer or something. Or you can go to this end, and you can just dash right in, and you're in. Either way, you can still get in there. Now, you can also, if you're Winston or something, again, you can come in from up here. Now, if you want to do this, it's kind of the same thing as just jumping in through here. It's just that they won't necessarily see you as much, and you can just surprise attack them. Again, the way to get here, I'll go back to the beginning. Again, health pack in there, keep that in mind. there's also this little room that's kind of pointless. It's just Winston's room. That's just kind of to, or it's a monkey's room, but you know, peanut butter. So we're gonna assume it's Winston's room. And so that's kind of just a little room that gives some background lore. But again, the way to get here would be through right side or any side really. You can come through here, but then you just go back out. You're gonna jump on over here. Again, keep in mind that if you are Winston, they will most likely see you if you're just a big animal running along. But you can actually kind of get, if you just jump from here and then get in, you can just get in right on top of them. They won't really see you as easily as they would see you here. So it's something to try. However, you have to make sure you get there in time with your team so that your team is not going in without you. And so now that's pretty much the right side tactics. There's the outdoor area above, those areas. And then you also have the middle tactics again.
Excuse me for dropping in.
So let's say you're going to go out the left side. So the left side is a little bit different. It's a lot trickier. You can go out the left side in 2 ways, up here and down here. We're going to start with the bottom area. So if you're going to go out the left side in the bottom area, you can just easily go up the stairs and be here, which doesn't make sense to do that. So we're going to go ahead and go down, help back there. And so you can simply just walk on the left side. You can just walk through here. Now keep in mind where we are right now. We're in the main path. So again, it's kind of pointless to go this way. This way you could go with your entire team, but I would not say you should go there with your flanker, because it kind of just is a waste of time. Whereas your entire team could just come through this way and then they'll show up out of nowhere, as opposed to coming down this path where you're seen from all the way over here. Just a little bit different. So then, if you want to sneak, if you want to try to sneak by, I don't know how you would, but you could like crouch or something, depends, and then come through here, dash through here, something like that. Now there's a lot of paths. One way you could do is just go right through here. Now you're behind the enemy lines, and if you want to, if they're standing here, do not go in that path. Okay, don't go in there. You can go in there or something, but don't go this way if their team is set up here. If they're set up over there, and it's chances are they're gonna have people on both sides watching, so just be paying attention to that. But if you want to make it a little bit sneakier, just go up the top way, and then now you're here. Again, this is a possible Winston path or some kind of flanker path. Flankers can just come in here and then just jump in. Same thing as going that way, just a little bit different. If you're playing Winston, you just dive right in and then you're off. Again, you're coming in from the high ground, you're not really seen as easily. However, if you're looking here, you can see the point of these things right here is kind of, it's like, oh yeah, computers, but the actual reason is because when you're over there, it hides your view. So you're gonna walk through here, they can only see you if you're like moving too slowly. If you just go ahead and walk right through and then crouch, they can't really see you, and then you can get to the high ground and stuff like that. Now that's pretty much all the advantage, like the points to get through. There are a lot of paths. Keep that in mind. There are so many paths. It's very confusing, and this is just for the first point. Now, don't get caught up with all these high ground points and things like that, because to be honest, this is really kind of useless, because right here, it's just for show. I mean, you could dash up here with Genji and then come through here and then go through here, but in the end, you're in the same spot you were if you just went down on the low ground. Yeah, you could, I guess, tracer blink with 3 blinks over there, and then boom, you're there. But again, there's just so many high ground things way back there before you're even at the point. The point is what you're working for. So if you're over there just sneaking around like, yeah, I'm gonna get them, you're really not doing anything until you're actually on the high ground, either up here or over there. This is really the crucial high ground, because no, you can't shoot anything, but you can really get a good flanking, or you could, even your entire team could just go in here, drop down. I mean, that's kind of unorthodox, but you could just drop down into here from above and then just push in. Just a lot of different strategies to try. Now that's pretty much it for the attacking for the first point. So you can see there's this area. So we're gonna go on to the second point. So say you're here, you get the point, done. All right, good. So you're gonna move on now. There's not really a whole lot of paths yet, but you can see you're moving through. There's a health pack here. Keep that in mind. Health pack right there. I mean, these are pretty close. So you're going to move on. This is that flanking route that I was talking about. So now you're here. There are only 2 ways to get into this next room, which is very large. However, there's a lot of obstacles. So you're going to come in here. This is really just your transitional phase right here, your transitional room. And then you start to walk here. Now, you can go left. We'll just start with the left side because it's the furthest over. You can go left and go all the way around. You can go through here, and now you are in the kind of back lines. I really wouldn't suggest going over here because you're near their spawn. So, there's a health pack right over there, by the way. Health pack there. Sombras can hack those, stuff like that. But yes, I don't really know if you should go all the way through there and then all the way around. Just you're kind of separating yourself from your team because there's no way to really get there. It takes a lot. So that's one way to go. The other way to go is, again, this is the choke area. This is the main building area, not main building, main attack area. So Ryan would put his shield up, stuff like that, and that's kind of the thing is, though, that this is actually kind of in the attacker's favor right here if you go down this way, because you do have the high ground. You can just jump in there over above them, stuff like that, as a Winston. Winston's actually quite powerful in this map from what I'm seeing so far. Flanking is a very powerful thing that's trying to be implemented. Just lots of attack paths. So this is a good spot if you want to attack from the high ground. You can go in from the right side. Health back there, keep in mind. And if you go in from the right side, you can easily, if they try to set up here, this is all you see. You can't see over here. You can't see that door. You're busy here. So you're kind of just sitting here like, la la la. Meanwhile, the entire team is coming from this path, which is right there. So you want to make sure you have eyes on that. So another path, that's a pretty good path to go. Now the next path is the high ground path, as I will call it. And so, again, that's the other entrance. So the next round is the high ground path, up on the right side, held back here. Now, if you go on the high ground path, you have the high ground. I mean, this is a very, very powerful spot. And I think a lot of battles can come down to who has high ground. So, it's a very, very powerful spot, and like I said, and so if you're a soldier or something like that, or McCree, you can come up here, start shooting at them down here if they're set up there. If they're set up on point, you can still shoot at them. Really, their only way of getting up here is through over here at the staircase where they would have to come in. Yeah, they can easily get there, however, whoever controls it controls this game, really, because you can't really get to them up there. You have to dive onto them or something like that. So this can be a very big play in the game. Also, your entire team can come through there since it's a very open area. What I see a lot happening is that it's possible that fights are going to be held in this room, not necessarily in that room. And the reason why I say this is because there's a very open area in here. There's a lot of room to move around. And so you can see the first objective from here. You can see this entire area. It's just a straight path. So I can see a lot of fighting happening in this room to prevent these choke points and things happening outside of there and prevent them from getting this high ground. Because if they get the high ground, you're going to lose. You need to have this high ground. This is the most important spot, so I do suggest having that. So that's pretty much it for attacking. There's obviously lots of different things. If a widow or something can easily stand up here. Now, we can go to defense. Now, we'll just go ahead and move on to defense now. So we'll start it on point 2 since I'm here already. So this point right here, this is a very powerful spot for defense. If you have a Widowmaker, and you just go ahead and stand up here, you can snipe that point, that point, that point, and you can get the 3 spots pretty easily. And they really don't have any way of getting to you unless they put somebody over here. Now, that's very dangerous, because if they put someone over here, they have to go from this point over there, around and through your spawn just to get to you, pretty much. So this is a very powerful spot for a Widowmaker. I can see that a Hanzo, a McCree, well, sorry, not McCree and Soldier, because they cannot actually get up here. There's really no way of getting up here unless you have the mobility to be able to do that. You can't rocket jump or anything like that. So it's a very powerful spot for snipers. You can see that they're trying to make snipers a little more viable in this game. So for all you snipers and widows and Hanzos and stuff like that, it's a very good spot for you guys. Even Pharahs, stuff like that. So for defense, like I was saying, I really don't suggest standing here. Please don't stand here if you're going to play competitive and you're going to play stand here. Don't do it. because standing right here will get your team killed, because they can just come in on you, just dive in like this. Sorry. They can just dive in on like that, right onto the point. Now you have to turn around, and their team can just funnel in. Now, defending there and there, that's where it comes into defending this side and that side. It really just comes to standing on point. You defend on the point, you're going to be a lot better. However, if you have somebody up here, like a Widow or Hanzo, this is why actually snipers might be a viable pick on this map. If you can hold on point, they can get up here, they can shoot things. Now, like I was saying before, I actually do kind of suggest holding up here. Because if you have a person, a soldier, or a McCree or someone on the high ground up here, you can easily see if they're coming at you, because there's only 2 ways on into this room. These are the only 2 ways. So if you have a soldier, McCree, or something like that, maybe 2 people on the high ground up here, I'd say a DPS and a healer. Because if it's a... First of all, look, so you have the high ground here, you have a DPS and healer, that's like a Zen or something. Then you have your main healer, and both of your tanks down here. And then you're also defending this area, defending that area. There's only 4 ways onto that second point. So if you leave your people, your team, you have your 2 tanks here, a healer, and maybe a second DPS. And then you're covering 2 areas, technically 3. Now, if you have a DPS and a healer up here, preferably a Zenyatta to be honest, because you have technically 2 DPS then, like a soldier, you want your ranged DPS up here, you want more of your closer or flanking DPS down there. So if you have your soldier, if you have a soldier McCree, just put 1 there, 1 here. So then you can kind of see when they're coming in. If they go right through here, you know they're flanking. However, if they flank, you have the high ground now, and therefore you have the advantage. Even if they flank, just tell your team to move in and move up. So if they move up here, let's say you're standing here, where you have the equal ground, not the low ground, because you never want low ground in this situation. You can tell your team, look, guys, move forward. So they're gonna move here. Then you can see now they can't really flank you because you're up here and not back there. So it kind of gives you an advantage. And that's really a good way of holding it. So for the first holding defense, you have a variety of options. If you look here, so
barrier activated.
The other team cannot get in through here with normal units. If they with normal heroes, if you have a jumping hero, something like that, diva, something like that, yes, they can get in. They can get in again from those flanking spots up top. They can get in from this side, and they can get in from that side. They can also go around the back with flankers. It's like from this side though. So if you stand here with a Reinhardt or a Winston, and then you put your secondary tank over here, then, sorry, I just shivered right there. Then what you're going to do is you're basically going to have a fully covered area. So what you want to do, you want to leave your healers in the back over here in this area. You want to have, sorry, 1 healer here. I'd actually say even maybe 1 healer kind of over here-ish, because they can't really get hit. You want to leave your DPS towards the middle area and just put your tanks here and there. If you do that, you're going to have a well-balanced area. You got healer healing these guys in there, your other healer over here and there, and then your DPS just kind of in the middle. One thing you want to look out for, another path that you could do, if you want to, you can put a, and it's actually kind of, it's an iffy thing to do, but you can have a DPS player up here to look for some early hits, because you can see when they're coming in from all the way over there, from up here, from over there. There's a lot of ways you can see, and you can see a lot of things. You can put a Widow or something like that up there. And let me go back and switch off to a DPS player just so I can show you. I'll go Soldier probably.
Hello there.
Just to show you the advantages of what I'm talking about. So, actually, we'll go Widowmaker, because then you can actually like really see what's going on. How's it going, guys, in chat? Hope you're enjoying the video. So we gotta wait for the character frames to load. Alright, so we're gonna head back to the first point, and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So, from here, and we're gonna, again, we gotta wait till the stuff, okay, there we go. So we have it loaded. So now, if you're here, you can see all the way over there, out of the corner of your eye, if you look in the right-hand corner, you can see right here. You can't see everything, but you can see most of it. You can kind of just zoom in like this if you need to. Honestly, I would just put your Venom over there, because they're most likely going to come into there and not jump through there, because I don't really see people just jumping like, oh yeah, they could do that. But I would put your Venom just in that area, and then
No
you
one
can kind of
can
see
hide
everything as well.
from my
But I would definitely,
sight.
I mean, you can see everything from here. It's a very good spot if you're good enough DPS. Now, if you're not a good enough DPS, I would not suggest this. The second thing is, though, you can't get back onto the point if you're up here. And again, the way to get up here, just go through those stairs up here then, or go through that bottom area now. But again, you would have to kind of, I'm trying to see if I can get up there. Whoops. I'm trying to do that. There we go. I guess you can do that too. I wasn't aiming for there, but that works. So yes. It's a viable spot. If you're Widowmaker, you can kind of just do it by yourself, and you don't really have to go up the stairs and stuff. But if you want to get out of there, again, if you're Widow, then you can do that kind of thing. With Soldier McCree, however, you really are kind of cut off from your team. So you want to be very careful, because if you're going to stand up here, make sure that you know when to get out. Sprint over here, and then sprint back down here and into the point. But make sure you do that in a fast enough time. So that's another really good spot to hold. Don't put both your DPS up there, however. That's another very important tip. If you put both DPS up here
No
and
one
one of them
can
gets
hide
picked off,
from
or even
my
both of them, you're in a really bad situation. So just be careful with that. And that's really the main part of defending this point. And so I know it's been like 22 minutes, wow, that's a long time, going over this map, but I hope that really gave you a really good in-depth guide and view into this map, so you guys can kind of understand the layout and the looks of everything, so you're not too intimidated by the time it really is released in competitive, which actually will be very, very soon, I'm sure. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video portion for the live stream. I'll probably be continuing it, but that's gonna be all for so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.